Today, a reader. Tomorrow, a leader. The Daddy Bag of Books is available at daddyandcompany.com.
Welcome to My Life as a Dad. We all know any man can be a father, but it takes someone special to be a daddy. Today we welcome Dr. Paul Song, radiation oncologist, professional, doctor, and father of one. Tell us about your child.
Well, she is absolutely pure joy. She's now 4 months old, and my wife and I are both older and first-time parents, and we are scratching our heads why we didn't do this sooner. It's truly transformed our lives.
When do you think it was that point of revelation for you as a dad? Was it right at birth? Was it before the birth? Was it a month in? Where did you feel like that really came into play?
It's a really great question, because I think prior to the birth, because I was not the person carrying this life, it was still something that was a little abstract to me. And even the very first time I held this new baby, I didn't really feel that bond, but I think the first time that she really looked at me and smiled was where I was hooked for the rest of my life.
Right, yeah.
Right.
And little girls seem to have a way of doing that.
Oh,
I mean,
I am
incredible.
Absolutely whipped for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
She's got me wrapped around her finger.
Let's go back a little bit in time and let's talk about the pregnancy. What were some of the things that you did to help support Lisa, maybe with her cravings or morning sickness or nausea, or what things did you do that you felt like were supporting or helpful to her?
Fortunately, I think for this pregnancy, it was probably the most simple and easiest pregnancy we've ever seen. She had had 2 prior miscarriages, so we were a little bit wary about this pregnancy. But as far as craving, actually, it was not so much anything more that I did, but because she was pregnant, she was a lot more fun to eat with.
Oh, there you go.
She would want to have burgers and fries and pizza more so than she ever did before getting pregnant. So it was actually easy on my end. Our child was extremely active, and even before we could ever get to a point where you could see a baby bump, the ultrasounds would show we had this fetus that was jumping around inside the womb, which was amazing. Lisa obviously felt the baby moving much sooner than I did, but pretty soon, the last trimester especially, it was very evident that she was very, very active, so much so that Lisa had a lot of difficulty at night because she would be kicking and wake Lisa up. So that made it, but that also reinforced, wow, we are bringing this person into the world.
If you could give a piece of advice to a first-time dad who doesn't know about the medical profession and isn't as involved as you are in the process, what would be like the number one thing to help support the mom during that pregnant period?
What I would recommend to the dads is to just try to be as supportive and also reassuring to your wife as possible. I think that even though we both knew things were going to be okay, it just hit us like a ton of bricks.
So let's talk about just the first, the first 2 or 3 weeks. How did you help out? How did you deal with that situation?
Well, because Lisa was breastfeeding, I was kind of worthless when it came to the feeding time. So the thing that I really tried to be there for was the diaper changes, and just trying to be supportive any way I could. But what you realize is in those first few weeks of life, the dad's role is pretty diminished. And really all you can do is support, fetch, and try to help as much as you can in your own way. One of the things that one of our friends had told us, which I thought was good advice, was for the father to take his shirt off and to put the baby skin on skin.
Absolutely.
And that, I think, was a very powerful experience, to have this tiny little, almost like a hamster, just sitting up in your chin, nuzzle.
How much did Jet weigh at birth?
6 pounds, 6 ounces.
Okay, yeah.
So it was, I think that's what I would say for first-time dads. You really should do that, more so because you finally get that connection with your child.
Are you doing anything at 4 months now? Maybe started with any reading, or what do you do as far as playtime?
Well, we have started to read to her, and certainly books that have a lot of pictures and colors and shapes. She's very attentive, and you watch her. My mom was reading to her last week, and I was videoing what was happening, and you see her eyes follow each of that. So she's very much attentive and starting to absorb things. So that's one of the things we've been doing. We do a lot of dance time with her. Lisa really likes to crank up the music, and they dance a lot together.
Nice.
I like to take naps on the weekends, and Lisa's somebody who likes to be active all the time. And I just said, I just hope our baby's a napper like her dad. And lo and behold, she is. And one of the things that she loves to do is to nap. So in those moments, Lisa's got a whole slew of pictures where we're both napping together.
Right.
So that's probably the number one thing we enjoy doing.
My life as a dad.
Sponsored by Daddy and Company, the perfect gifts for dad. Get 15% off your next purchase at daddyandcompany.com using promo code MLAAD15.